On the 17th of November 2022, Trackmania's tallest Fodian-style tower map was released, consisting of 15 perilous floors, each with their own unique styles and difficulties. Deep Dip. In order to beat Deep Dip, players need to ascend the tower however they see fit and jump out to the finish, while a single failed jump or inaccuracy could cost them their entire progress. Here is my experience of Deep Dip and how I finally managed to conquer the 2,000 meter tall tower. The day the map was released, a competition to be the first to the summit began. Many players participated and the pro players streaked ahead. At this stage, I was content with not even trying the map. It was the craziest thing I had seen on the game at that point, and floor 6 in particular looked insanely difficult. It was when some players reached floor 7 that my interest was piqued. The floor begins with a pipe jump onto a platform where you then have to gather speed to climb a magnet half-pipe. The intended line is to jump from the magnet through one or two holes and land in some water. However, Virtual suggested an idea for a shortcut straight to floor 8 using a magnet yeet. I just had to try it. I loaded up the map and attempted the cut. After 30 minutes I found out it was doable. It wasn't on the full map, but this would have been far too difficult to realistically hunt on a real run, and to this day has not been used. This was the first Trackmania video on this channel. I had attempted a climb during the competition, but could only reach floor 1 after a few hours, prompting me to not try the map again. But before I gave up completely, I looked to see if I could find a shortcut on floor 1 to skip the sections I was struggling with. I did find a potential cut, skipping both parts I was struggling on, but I could not make it work. So I decided to check the rest of the map for any other shortcuts that looked feasible and fun to try. Floor 10 stood out to me. A ramp halfway through the floor facing the start of floor 11, skipping the end of floor 10. It looked like it was designed to trick the players. There was no way you could gather enough speed to make the jump. However, this platform was connected to a magnet block, which are known for their unusual speed properties when falling off of them. After half an hour, I found the trick to it. Driving slowly and diagonally off of the magnet gave enough speed to the car, and still enough distance to the jump, in order to land on the ramp at the start of floor 11. In hindsight, I should have published these videos after the competition had ended, so it didn't have a chance of spoiling the discovery runs. Fortunately, all of the top players had cleared this floor beforehand, thereby not influencing their attempts. Later that week, Bren, Virtual and Ixon reached the summit, with the top two completing the map in 42 and 60 hours across 6 days respectively. It had been an incredible event, and the biggest the game had seen at this point. After the map had been completed, a version with many checkpoints was released. This contained 118 checkpoints, allowing anyone to beat the tower without needing the commitment. Additionally, a version with a single checkpoint per floor was released too, but this was far too difficult for me. The streamer Maji decided to play the many checkpoints version on stream one day and made good progress up the tower. This convinced me to give it a go just to see how difficult it actually was. December 1st, 2022, I loaded it up and made fast progress up to floor 6, now brimming with confidence. I was quickly humbled as floor 6 took around 30 minutes to beat, with 20 of those in the last jump alone. The rest of the tower was not easy either, leading to a finishing time of 3 hours, a little bit faster than I had expected. The next day, I tried it again, beating the tower in less than 2 hours, and then on my third finish, I got the gold medal with a 1 hour 20 minute run. I was shocked at the rate of improvement, but in only another 5 hours of attempts, I got the run down to 48 minutes. Naturally, the next step was to beat the author time, and on the 29th of January 2023, I finally did it after 22 hours of attempts and 14 finishes. This was very exciting. This made me believe I could beat the no checkpoint map, but with 70 respawns in this run, perhaps I was optimizing for speed rather than consistency. In the meantime, I had been hunting individual floors to get more practice, and some world records too. Floor 6, 7 and 8 all had new world records set by me, and all of them used a cut. 6 days later, I beat Deep Dip checkpoint per floor for the first time, and was only the 7th player to do so. Having taken 15 hours of attempts, made up of many runs that had been stopped midway through, I finally beat it with a time of 4 hours and 35 minutes, although with 400 respawns. This was a humbling experience. Instead of beating the map without any issue in 40 minutes, it was taking much longer with many more respawns. I had a long way to go. I decided to start streaming attempts of the checkpoint per floor map on my Twitch channel. This was my first experience with this, so I didn't really know what to do, but with only a few viewers I could concentrate on the map and keep progressing. 1.5 months later, on the 19th of March, I beat the world record on it. A 34-minute run with only 13 respawns.
Jesus Christ. I hate that jump so much. I hate flip jumps, and it's the last bloody jump of the whole bloody thing. Come on, let's get this. Ha! Holy shit, man. Ah! We did it again. Beat it 2 days in a row. 13 respawns.
This has taken 58 hours on this specific version alone, as well as any extra practice on individual floors and jumps. This was a monumental achievement. I thought I was ready for the checkpoint-less tower. So, attempts began. For the next 4 days, I tried to get a good run on the tower, but only surpassing floor 6 3 times in hours of attempts was very demotivating, and out of those 3 attempts, I only reached floor 8 once, setting a personal best of 1,088 meters, just over 50% of the way, within 8 hours on the no checkpoint map, falling in the most unusual and frustrating manner. Unfortunately, personal life got in the way too, not even letting me focus for long enough for a whole deep dip run. There was no chance I was going to beat it. In May of 2024, the successor to Deep Dip was released, Deep Dip 2, the hugely anticipated sequel. Once again, a competition took place and all of the best players gave it their all. Deep Dip 2 was significantly harder than the first and took over a month for the first player to finish, which was, once again, bread. Watching the progress on the second tower was motivating. I looked back at Deep Dip 1 and considered trying it again, and I wasn't the only one. A much newer player, who had played the map a little bit before, Dobsonian, or Dob as I called him, had said that they were going to beat it. I was very skeptical. No one beats Deep Dip without thousands of hours in the game. I talked with him, and over the next few months he had made incredible progress. I wanted to beat Dob to the top of the tower, but never really expected either of us to get that far. I drifted in and out of playing again, occasionally trying checkpoint per floor, but not committing to it fully. Dob was different though. He was committed like I had never seen before, blasting through 100 hours of practice without even breaking a sweat. Gradually reaching and smashing through my personal best only a few months later in July. He kept going, kept pushing. I figured I should try and catch up, putting in some extra hours on the practice floors and on the practice versions, but the motivation to grind it properly was not there. Floor 6 was still a huge problem, and I hadn't got a PB in over a year. Dob had found a strategy for floor 6 that was way more consistent, originally found by Johnny Drumcat. Rather than doing 2 hard jumps at the start and the end, it replaced the first one with an awkward but far more forgiving jump, and it allowed me to repeat the floor indefinitely. This route was found during the event, but with one main difference. During the event, to recover back to the platform on the route, a side flip was used. This was hard to have the correct speed and angle, and was made more difficult by landing on an off-cambered block. I did not like the original idea, so stuck with the harder but more direct route. Dob's route used a railing to climb to the off-cambered block, removing the difficulty entirely. Originally, I wasn't convinced, but I came around to the statement that this was the most consistent route. Once again, I stopped practicing since I agreed with Dob to wait until he finished a map to finish it myself, giving him a bit of extra time to do so, and giving me extra time to do other things in the meantime. During this time, I practiced floor 12 and 13 some more, beating my old PB on both, and becoming ultra consistent on them. Then, on December 24th, 2024, Dob beat Deep Dip in just over 240 hours as the 18th finisher.
I'm going. Oh my god! Oh my god, it's gone!
I was incredibly proud of him and his achievement. That meant it was now my turn. Around the new year, I put in some more attempts, beating the checkpoint per floor version in a personal best number of respawns, 8, and was ahead of my personal best time until floor 13 by 3 entire minutes. This run showed me I could do it. I just needed enough attempts, and therefore attempts on the checkpointless map started again. Every run had the goal, reach floor 6. Beyond that, everything else was a bonus. I didn't have much consistency yet. Floor 6 was reachable, but not every time. Floor 7 was still out of reach. Using the new strategy, I beat floor 6 only the 5th time. Then, on January 13th, I did what I had waited for almost 2 years. I beat my personal best. I had reached floor 9 for the first time, surpassing my previous floor 8 PB. I could go all the way. Then, my game crashed when I tried to load Dips++. But it didn't matter. I had the motivation to continue. I knew I could do it. The mental block was gone. 10 days later, I beat this PB. I reached floor 10, then floor 11, then floor 12, and then floor 13, in one run, flawlessly. My old PB had been destroyed, and I had reached the penultimate floor. This was the miracle run. I fell from floor 13 to floor 8, then climbed back up to floor 11, then fell again to floor 8, in the exact same place. I climbed back again to floor 11. I had the confidence on the higher levels. I had practiced them more. I knew a run that reached floor 12 or 13 had the chance to finish. 175 hours in, and I knew it was going to be soon. Over the course of the next 20 hours playing the map, I had so many runs to floor 6, and a good number beyond too. Countless stupid mistakes on floors 7, 8 and 9, forcing a restart to my runs over and over. But I pressed on, spending at least an hour every day just attempting the map. I didn't need more practice. On February the 5th, I had my third run to floor 13 and absolutely flew through it. My learned strategies and consistencies were from playing the floor fast, and it worked, reaching the sausage block at the end less than 2 minutes after I began the floor. I knew this next jump had caused many problems for so many people, but I wanted to get it. I could do it. But then I crashed before even reaching the jump. The run was over, but it was a very successful run, and very fast too, reaching that point in only 26 minutes. Then, on February the 9th, I had my best attempts to date, reaching floor 13 on my first run and getting a new PB, reaching the large jump, but just failing it. Another clean floor 13 up until then. The following run was the fastest I had ever achieved, with a flawless run up to floor 11 in only 16 minutes. Not world record pace, but faster than third in the world. The final run of the day was to floor 12, another insane attempt to round out the day. I knew it was coming. I knew one more PB should do it. Finally, on February the 10th, 2025, on my third run of the day, 199 hours after I started 2 years ago, I got this run. The next minute showcases the ending of my run. The full 32-minute version is available on my YouTube channel. I did it. I beat Deep Dip. Perhaps it was not the cleanest run, with a number of mistakes and close calls, but it was done. This was my largest achievement in the game. I was the 20th finisher, and the final run only took 32 minutes, placing me 6th on the leaderboards. I proved to myself that even though I'm not the best player of the game, I could still conquer one of the hardest maps if I put enough effort in. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me throughout this project. It's been a long time coming. I want to thank everyone in my Twitch chat, everyone in the Trackmania community, just anyone who's ever been supportive. And of course, a special thanks goes to Dob. Without him, I could never have got to the end. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching. It's taken me a long time to make, and I've really enjoyed it actually. Maybe we'll make some more documentaries in the future. If you did enjoy it, please do leave a comment below. I always enjoy reading them. And as for the next project, well, you'll just have to wait and see.